I know this has been done on YouTube a number of times, particularly from Americans, some really good videos which roughly I'm following, but not entirely. This is the fuel filter from the fuel pump. Here is a hard 10mm pipe which then joins this rubber pipe, which goes down here for a little length and then rejoins the 10mm hard pipe. That then runs all the way to the front up into the engine bay, where it feeds the fuel rail. This rubber pipe in actual fact goes right at the top there and goes to the top of the fuel tank where the sender unit is. So it's rubber all the way down to here, and then it becomes another hard pipe which is in 8mm, and then that hard pipe goes down and again all the way to the front of the vehicle. It's very hard to replace the hard pipes evidently without dropping part of the transaxle. I'm going to take the rubber pipe from here all the way through or down to the bottom of the car here, and the same with this pipe here, which is the return pipe in 8mm. I'm going to lead a new pipe all the way from the top of the fuel tank all the way to the bottom of the car. I'll just move down and show you that. Okay, so that is the return pipe in 8mm. That should be a hard pipe like this, but somebody's already replaced a length of pipe from here up there somewhere because it's already been leaking. So this is the return, this is the feed. I'm only going to bring a rubber pipe, so I'm removing all this, a rubber pipe to somewhere here which is above the bottom of the floor of the car. I don't like the idea of the rubber pipes coming below the floor. Now, the hard pipes that I'm going to take from here all the way through to the front and up to the engine bay are in conifer. They're a 8mm and a 10mm copper nickel pipe. So this part of the pipe actually travels under the bottom of the car and then turns up. So I'm cutting off a sufficient length so that when I build the conifer pipe to replace it, I've got the location of that bend, and then I will attach the rubber pipe to this bit here. With the conifer I'll make it a bit longer and attach that and then push it up out the way. I've uncoupled the return pipe from the top of the fuel tank where the sender unit is, and I've attached a piece of nylon string to it, and it's been quite difficult to pull through, but if you just keep pulling then eventually it comes through. That's the disconnected hose, which you can see now has a string going back up through to the boot, and this string was going over the top of the transaxle because I had to pull it from the front over the transaxle towards the back, because that union there was too big to actually feed across the transaxle. The distance between the body of the car and the top of the transaxle isn't that great. By joining those two pieces of nylon string together, I now have one continuous length running from the boot of the car right the way through to the underside. These brackets supporting the brake and fuel pipes, even with a 4mm Allen key, are proving very difficult. The Allen key just spins. Boost Brothers on one of their videos. He came up with using a T20 torque bit, and absolutely that works. There's an inner wheel lining that you need to remove. That's fairly straightforward. So having cut through it at the at the rear end, I now have to remove this pipe, which I've disconnected in the engine bay, and you can see that the way it was disconnected from there in the engine bay on lots of videos. And then that now gives me this length of pipe. Well, that's the full shape of the 8mm return pipe. I've measured it using string. It's just about 2.5 meters, and I will attempt to make a replica of that out of the copper nickel pipe. Shouldn't have that piece of rubber there, that hose. It should be one solid piece. There was obviously a leak there. This end, as you can see, has a slight upturn, and that's where I'll make the connection for the rubber hose pipe. Okay, so I've got a Draper pipe flaring kit. So at the end of the fuel pipe, just to give it a small dimple to help a pipe stay on, you just attach it in this one, like this, so it's just sticking up about 1/8 of an inch, no more. Screw it in place, put one of the flaring tools in, there we are. Squeeze it down. So then all you've got at the end is a slight nipple, so that when the pipe goes on, the hose pipe, and I'm using a Codan J30R9 fuel pipe, which is for fuel injection, and when that goes over the end and you put the 2 fuel pipe clips on, then it can't come off because of the nipple at the end. I've taken the opportunity while it's off the car and easily done to connect the fuel pipe to the hard fuel line with the 2 fuel pipe clips. This is SAE J30R9, and it's 7.3mm internal diameter. That's quite important because the pipe is 10mm, 8mm. This is SAE J30R9. Internal diameter is 7.3mm. That's important because the pipe, the hard pipe that's connected, the copper nickel pipe, is 8mm. And in order to get the right grip, it should be about 10% less diameter than the pipe. That's so that you get a slight bulge and the pipe fits snugly, the hose pipe fits snugly on the hard pipe. And you can just see here the nipple that I put in, and then the clamp. Using gaffer tape, I've now connected the hose, which is already connected to the copper nickel pipe, to the string, nicely tapered, and the hose entrance protected. I'm now going to pull that through. Eventually it should come all the way through up into the boot of the car. And then without too much effort in my case, I managed to pull it through. I've left the inlet connection, which undid reasonably well, and connected the new fuel filter. I connected up the new fuel filter to the appropriate straight ANC connector, which is that blue one, and connected that to the bend, and then connected the flexible. The new fuel filter is connected to a straight ANC coupler. That straight ANC coupler is then connected to another ANC coupler, which is a bend, which has a push fitting, and the flexible fuel pipe is then connected on the push fitting, and that fuel pipe then goes over the top of the transaxle and makes the connection with the conifer pipe, which then goes under the floor. That meant I didn't have to drop the transaxle to put in a steel pipe. you can now see the two conifer fuel pipes that run along the underside floor bend upwards and then join the flexible fuel pipes. One is the return and the other is the feed. I connected the conifer fuel pipes just where they come through the wheel arch to the flexible fuel pipes, and then installed the protective covers that were on the original fuel pipes. Led the fuel pipes round the back of the engine, not over the top, and then connected to the two fuel pressure things.